Okay.
I'm so thrilled to see this because I just went to Stockholm a few weeks ago and was blown away by the majesty of this production. I mean, this is your baby.
Yeah.
You care passionately about it, and congratulations, you've done it beautifully.
Thank you very much. Are you going tonight?
I'm coming in tonight and we're going to get drunk together because this is the thing, it is a party. I mean, the musical's the musical. We just saw the 20th anniversary performance. I was there for that. And what an amazing show it is 20 years on. But this is something very different.
This is a party.
You mean all
Yes,
of them
you're
are very
right.
good. I love them.
Sit down, go in there, sit down and relax and have a glass of wine and you'll have a wonderful meal and you sing along and there's a story played out. Round the tables, you're right in the middle of the story.
When did you come up with the concept? I mean, the film is a party, the show's a party, but to actually create the party, when did it sort of come to you that people actually want to be part of this immersive experience?
It's very clear at the end of the musical, the stage musical, when people stand up and sing and dance. It's very, very clear that they want to do that. They want to be part of something like that. So it was really a no-brainer. Why not create a party? So it's like you watch Mamma Mia, the musical, and then you go next door and have a party. It's like that.
I said to you last time you're a genius, and I stand by that statement. I tell you why, because you're timeless. Your music is still loved and it continues to be loved. It continues to get airplay. I asked you the question before, but I'm going to ask it again. Why? Why you? What did you do that makes us still in love with you 450 years after you penned these tunes?
I wish I knew. Honestly, I don't know. I'm just grateful and, humble. And amazed, but why us? That I don't know.
When are we going to get more? We want a new album. Please tell us there's going to be one.
At least one new song next year.
But I hear you're working on more.
That's hearsay.
I gave you a 5-star review in Stockholm. I can't wait to see it tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're a genius. You do know this.
Thank you. I don't think I am, but I'm a hard worker.
I think it's all in the fingers, and we talked last time about how you put these tunes together and which one's better than which one, and it doesn't really matter, does it? Because the public come here. I just saw the show in Stockholm.
Yeah.
They literally have a party because of your music.
Yeah, I like that. I like that fact. And the good idea with this, I mean, this is all Bjorn's doing. I'm not involved in this at all. I come and I listen to the band. I want the bass notes to be right and all that stuff. Otherwise, it's his work. But what's happening is that audience comes in, they have a drink, they have a nice meal, and then they have the people in the restaurant doing the show with a story, right? And then they start singing, and especially here in England, I say they all know the song, they know the lyrics, so they come in and they sing along. That's what creates the party feeling, I say, because everyone is in the same bowl here, taking part in what's going on. It's quite lovely, I think.
Do you still pinch yourself that whether I'm in Africa, whether I'm in America, whether I'm in England or Sweden or anywhere, you switch on the wireless and there you are still booming out 450 years later?
Yeah. Well, I don't pinch myself because I know that's going on, but I'm really amazed, We never thought this. When we finished in 1982, we said, well, we're going to have a couple of years, some money trickling in from the old records, and all of a sudden, and we're still around, and the music is still around, and I don't get it. But for that, I'm very grateful.
Welcome back to Mamma Mia, the party. We're here on the red carpet, and I just saw this show a few weeks ago in Stockholm to see whether it was worth coming tonight. 5 stars, marvellous.
If you gave 5 stars to Stockholm, right, you need to up your levy a little bit
I'm afraid
tonight.
it's going to
This
be...
is what I'm curious. So we've got the added dimension of you and your gags. What are we going to get?
well, it's actually a different story as well. It's... I don't want to give it away. It's a full-on, immersive, joyous experience.
The thing is about the music before it even starts. I mean, there's the odd ballad, but they're mostly uplifting, and the show is fun, and there's free alcohol. So, I mean, couldn't be better, could it?
Yes, but we don't do free alcohol here. We have a very, very respectable and respectable English audience.
You get a welcoming cocktail.
Yes.
There you are, that's free alcohol. This is what I was talking about. Talk to me about the choreography and how important it is in a show like this, because it is a show, and the confusing bit about people to understand is it's a dinner and it's a show at the same time, and people have to behave, don't they? So we do get the show.
You do, but then we had to choose our actors very, very carefully. So it wasn't just your good West End performers. There were people who had a personality who could react and have somebody in an audience that might stop them in the middle of their dialogue and go, "Oh, but excuse me, can you tell me where the toilet is?" And they have to then stop. Say that because they have to stay in character. So it was quite difficult to cast, but we got the cream of the crop.
They are amazing.
You're an icon and a legend, but so are ABBA. Well, the thing is, this is the problem, you see. You've got ABBA are also icons and legends. What pressure was on you to be as funny as their material and their music?
It doesn't work that way. We all rolled up our sleeves and wanted to make the best show possible. After a while of working with almost anybody, they're just your mate. And I think the wonderful thing about Bjorn is there's no side to him. He's just a really nice guy, and we just laughed a lot. That's it.
So nice to see you. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back to Celebrity Radio, and we're here with a lady who is responsible for either the best night of my week or possibly the worst. Am I going to have a good time?
It's going to be the best night of your week.
I'll tell you what it is. I just went over to Stockholm to see this show in its Swedish form, and it's fun even if you don't understand a word they're saying, because of course we get the party atmosphere, we get the food, we get the drink, and of course we get the hits.
Yeah, and you'll get all of that here and in English.
What's different? What have you done for this production that is not the case over there?
The lighting is different. You'll have to see it, but it is very big. It's big lighting as opposed to Stockholm. The venue is slightly bigger, but I think the story is tweaked a little bit because Sandy Toksvig has got a hold of it, and she's created one or two characters, a couple of other songs in from Stockholm. Just a few tweaks. Otherwise, it's basically the same.
Do you feel lucky to have her? I mean, from our perspective, she's a legend, she's an icon, and one of the funniest women in history ever, and you've got her to write your show.
It is such a luxury, and we are so lucky, and she has made us laugh all the time, even when she is not working.
Doesn't have to try, does she?
It just comes out of her. So it's been a pleasure.
What's the recipe? I mean, it's an old question that's been asked a million times, but what is the reason for the success? Is it the hits, or is it the emotion of the songs, or is it just the pure writing of the two geniuses to your left-hand side?
It's these guys. It's these guys. There's nothing like them.
Why is it so timeless? That's the thing that's interesting. I mean, as a radio guy who plays these songs time after time after time, it seems like they never get old, and that's so rare because music normally stays within its own decade. These songs are as relevant today as they were 30 years ago.
It's a very interesting question. And, we were talking about this last night. What is it that makes these ABBA songs last and so popular and timeless? We don't know.
Are the songs the same?
Great.
I noticed there were some rare album tracks, which is fantastic because the fans will really love that. Have you done the same here in London, or?
Yes, we have. We've done the same here. We've got some rare tracks, although we've included a couple of other extra hits as well. I mean, hits, if you know what I mean.
You've got to remember the fans are so obsessive and know every track, back to front, forward to back, top to bottom. I mean, you've got to bear them in mind, and they're here tonight, and they're so excited. It must be thrilling to get people who are mega fans, and then the public who are just coming to see, who all walk out blown away. That's obviously your goal.
I think the greatest thing has been looking at the reaction that people have posted on our Facebook site or on our Instagram site about their experience and what this music has brought them, and the show has. It's very, very fulfilling.
25 years I toured with Ken Dodd. We're looking at the hairy furry coats, aren't we? Did you steal this off?
I love Ken Dodd. I wish I did, actually.
He was a legend. And I mean, you always turn up. And when I say turn up, I don't mean physically, but in spirit too. You love the business, don't you? Coming to something like this is thrilling because it's another level of show business. I mean, we're talking 20 years of the musical, now this, and a legacy of 40 years of music.
I know, yeah, it's amazing. ABBA are sort of a phenomenon, and Sandy Toksvik's a force of nature. So I think the combination's going to be deadly, right?
I just saw her in Nottingham at the concert hall a few weeks ago doing a one-woman show, and this woman's so magnetic as you are on stage. You wouldn't think you two would be friends, but actually, when you boil it down, you're the same person, aren't you?
She's not going to be happy about that.
You just want to entertain and make people laugh. That's her fundamental wish every morning when she wakes up.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's really funny, really quick, really witty, good at improvising, good at writing. good at everything, really. She's one of those people that can do everything.
The last time we spoke was for your tour and the
I
DVD.
don't understand something I asked Sandy. Okay. Can you explain this to me? Because I don't get it. And she'll go, right, now, what it is, darling, sit down. And I'm like, she's amazing. She's like a school teacher. She's a bit like a mum. She's also really talented and also, yeah, she's brilliant.
Possibly the smartest woman who ever lived. I mean, she really is so smart and knows everything. And add into that wit, it's another level of I'm not competing with you.
Basically like Doctor Who and I'm the ditzy assistant. That is what's going on. I mean, I know that. She's Tom Baker and I'm Billy Piper. I know that.
What's your life like now? I mean, the last time we spoke was the DVD and the tour. Now we've got this new little programme on Channel 4 that was going to be a flop, but turns out it's probably the best show it's ever been, and people are loving it and loving you more.
It's weird, actually. Me and Sandy just thought this isn't going to work. People are too attached to the old show. We literally felt like we were walking to the gallows when we were like, oh, what have we done? What have we done? We didn't want to break the show. We loved the show. We were like, we don't want to break it for everyone, but somehow, I don't know how, there was some sort of Houdini managed to get away with it. I don't know how, but people seem to like it. So
what's the rule on innuendo and double entendre? Is there a point where there can be too much?
No rule. It's just that Paul will laugh. He loves that stuff. So you'll be standing there, someone will say something, and he'll just start giggling like a schoolboy. And then before you know it, you're like, oh, we've done it again.
Do we have to get at least 3 in a show? Is there a minimum we have to have? I average about 3, at least knobcakes.
I think it wasn't our fault this time. I think the bakers might have innocently dropped some double entendres, but Paul's straight on them. He loves it. Me and Sandy try to avoid them, but we can't quite manage it.
It seems like it's that chemistry that worked from the beginning. Did you love it from episode 1?
Well, you know what? I went to do a test with Sandy, and we knew immediately that we were going to work well together. So we were just like, let's just give it a shot, see what happens. I didn't have any expectations. I was like, do you know what? I like the show. I watched them all before I did it, and I was like, I love Mel Sue, so I was like, I don't really mind. If this works, it'll be a bonus.
And it's so simple, but it's also so complicated. You can't get it wrong and mess with it.
You know what? At the end of the day, it's about the bakers. People love following the bakers. The bakers are all really nice. They're all really good as well. Like Rahul last year was sort of incredible. They're amazingly skillful, but they're also really sweet. They're really nice. So it kind of is about them. And Paul is the perfect pantomime villain. Prue's amazing. I've never met anyone like Prue. She's wonderful. So me and Sandy have got quite an easy job, you know. We just thought, I mean, I've got the easiest job in the world. I just muck about.
I think you have in a way, because it's just you being you. I mean, you don't even have to try. It is literally
I don't have to do any presenting. Sandy does all the presenting. I've never presented anything. I can't bake. I have no idea why I'm there.
Why are they paying you for this? You should be paying them.
It's the weirdest thing. I think, weirdly, I'm quite good with the bakers. They open up to me. I should have been a therapist. I don't know.
You're amazing. No, I love you very much. Good to see you, Noel.
Lovely to chat to you.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Welcome to Mamma Mia, the party. Here we are talking to the man who's responsible for whether this is going to be a hit or a flop. Are you confident?
Yes, I am. Because the people that's been here on the previous have been standing on the tables, on the fountains, on the chair, singing and screaming. So far it's been a really good trial.
It's almost impossible to fail. I mean, I just saw it a few weeks ago in Stockholm, and the energy you bring to that room is so magnetic because, of course, we've got 3 elements. We've got alcohol, we've got ABBA tunes, and we've got food. You can't lose.
And you drink a lot in London, in England, too. And that helps with the party.
Why you? I mean, how do you get this gig? It's the dream gig, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I created it in Stockholm originally. I got the question to conceive this concept. So I worked for a year, like almost 3 years totally, but a whole year we just rewrote and tested the script and changed it and what songs should be in, what songs should be out. And so we constantly worked with it a lot before we find the right. And I didn't want to do a regular like ABBA show with a dinner because that was the question. I said, and I got one request to say they all have to dance in the end. So that was my goal, and then it was just a matter of getting the best songs and getting something different. We don't have any stages. You're sitting and eating next to the performers, and you're really into immersive experience, and that's what we wanted, something different. But it's also juggling between, is it a musical or is it a dinner entertainment? It's neither. It's like in between.
We get the combo, darling. We get everything and food. So they'll soak up the alcohol. Even though we're hydrating, it's not alcohol, it's hydration.
And I'm told by Benny there is not 1 calorie in this food.
Well, when you're here at the O2, nothing counts.
It's like its own world, isn't it?
It
It's
is.
like a sphere of nothingness.
Yeah, completely free, calorie free.
How are you doing? What's it like for you to come to this? I mean, you're constantly on the road, you're busy at the minute, and then you turn up at a show like this and you're watching all these pros do it. Do you want to be in the show, or are you happy just watching?
I've done the show, darling. I did it for a year in town. #Tanya. And I'm now called a heritage dynamo. And I can still just about fit in my costume with a lot of ropes and pulleys, and thank God for Lycra stretches.
I found you one of the most delicious Tanyas in the show ever. I mean, there I was 20 years ago at opening night, and you've been in it, and so many have. About 400,000 people have done this show because it's been running so long.
I know, darling. I'm proud to be one of them, albeit heritage.
Did you put your finger on what it is? Because it has great heart. I think that's what's unique. We get the campness and the nonsense with the Dancing Queens, but then we've got Slipping Through Your Fingers and stuff like that, where it really pulls at the heartstrings.
Well, bottom line, it's about love. And who doesn't want that?
Oh, I do love. I'm hoping by the end of this party I might find you.
Well, we're all hoping for that, dear.
Great to see you again. Great to see you. Why aren't you having a nap? You must be exhausted.
I tried to cram in a short nap before doing this, but I didn't want to miss it. I didn't want to be late either.
The hardest working woman in show business. Only 7 shows a day at the BBC. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Now, today I did early breakfast on Radio 2, breakfast on Radio London, then got on the back of a motorbike and whizzed over to do This Morning with Holly and Phil, and now I'm here.
Do you love the fact that you're still relevant? I mean, a bit like this show. 20 years ago it opened in the West End. 20 years later it's still on. Now they're having a new life, and you've sort of got that. Radio 2's given you a new life.
Nice of you to say. I mean, obviously I feel relevant to myself. I can't imagine being someone who doesn't feel that they themselves are relevant, but I take it as a huge compliment that you think I'm relevant, so that's very nice. And I was at the opening night of of Mamma Mia the musical, and I remember just thinking, how could they possibly turn these songs, these kind of disparate, amorphous pop songs, into something that tells a story? But they did, a story of sorts, and my God, it's been a huge success all around the world. I think I've probably seen it, I don't know, a conservative estimate, I say probably 8 times. If you factor in the film, probably 50 times. And have I enjoyed it and sung along every time? Yes, of course.
And in terms of airplay, it's extraordinary how these songs are still relevant and are still listed. People still want to hear them, and they're so old now. You forget how long they've been playing.
We play these on Radio 2 daily. I don't suppose there's a show I ever do without an ABBA track. And in the summer I sat in for Sarah Cox on Drive Time. And on Friday they have All Request Friday. Well, there's always an ABBA song, just no question about it. It's compulsory, really.
Are we going to get drunk tonight? I mean, there is a party, there is alcohol, there is food, there is ABBA songs. I mean, this is a recipe for disaster. You're never going to do early breakfast tomorrow.
Are you talking about you and me together?
Yes,
Are we going to get drunk?
yes.
If that's an invitation, I accept. Yes, I'll see you in there.
Gaynor, welcome to Mamma Mia the party. Are you ready to get drunk with me?
You say that to all the girls, don't you?
Well, I mean, this is really what it is. We've got Mamma Mia the musical added into a dinner and a beautiful room with booze. It's perfect.
What more could you ask for, really? It's perfect. I've come from Leeds for this, so yeah, I'll get drunk with you.
We're about to come up and see you. You've got the opening of Band of Gold. Is it fun for you to come and see something that is nothing to do with you, where you can just have fun, or do you just wish you were in it?
Well, the thing is, it starts by you just having fun, and then you start to go, I'd love to be in it. Oh. I don't know, a few of my friends are jealous because they really want to be here, but they're working. So, I know that I'll definitely be wanting to get involved later on, and I probably will get involved.
When you put a show on, what is the key to making it a success? They've clearly found the recipe. Is it the music, or is it the feel-good? Because they're the two elements that seem to be the reason people come back and back.
Yeah, I think it's both of those things, you know. As much as I think everybody wants to leave the theatre feeling good, and that's, you know, essentially what Mamma Mia is always about that. But the last thing you want to do is walk out of a theatre like, you know, and I've done that a few times. But I'm sure that I'm going to be smiling tonight.
There's the odd show in the West End when they're all dead at the end. I mean, you can't really feel uplifted, can you?
That's true.
Also, it's the majesty of the sort of feel of the room. I know you haven't been in yet, but it's sort of got the feel of being in a taverna in a foreign island, and we all just want to be away from Britain at the moment, let's face it. It's part of the magic of that too, isn't it?
Oh yeah, a taverna, supping wine, what better? Yeah, absolutely. Immersed in Mamma Mia and ABBA, and yeah, lovely. My friend's with me, so I'm going to have a lovely time.
I always have to ask, how's your mum?
My mum's wonderful. She's just heading off to Spain. Yeah, so she's probably going to be she'll be in a Spanish bar, not a taverna.
I'll see you next at the Leeds Grand. Lovely to see you. Nadia Swahala, always nice to see you. And here we are at Mamma Mia the party. We're going to get drunk till about 3 a.m.
I can't believe it's such a clever idea, isn't it? Just when you thought there was nothing else that you could do with it, to have a party because people watched the movie and they so wanted to be a part. I mean, look at Skopelos now, where they filmed it. I mean, the boat trips going on. Everybody wants a bit of it, and to take it to the next level, where we're going to be immersed in everything Mamma Mia and everything ABBA, is genius.
Do you like olives?
I like olives, I like tzatziki, I like caramel salatar, I like baklava, I like kuzu.
This is your home, really, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I mean, as soon as I got out of the car, I went to my mum. I can smell charcoal. Things are already good.
The thing about this show, of course, we've had Mamma Mia the musical, which is 20 years old, and people go back again and again and again, and I guess this is just an extension of that to make it a night
Exactly.
out.
I mean, what could you think that they could do? And they've done something. Well, we'll have to wait and see because I haven't seen it yet. But I'm imagining it's taking us to the next level, where we can actually be in it. I love immersive theatre anyway. I really, really. Not a lot of people have been to immersive theatre. I've been to all sorts of immersive shows, and I love them.
Do you think we're going to end up getting your Dancing Queen, you know, as a lead number by the end, and you'll sort of knock the lady off the chair so you can sing it yourself?
Maybe. Step aside, I'm coming through.
We all need our moment. Lovely to see you again.
Nice to see you. Have a good evening.
It's a party, and we're going to get drunk together, and then we dance till about 3 a.m.
Wow. It's getting later. It was 2 o'clock further down the road.
Well, that's what parties do, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, who's going to?
Well, are we going to run out of nuts?
I think so. Well, you never know if it's that type of evening.
kind of party.
I mean, there's nothing camper than Mamma Mia, and then they add in alcohol and food. It is a perfect night out. Isn't it?
I would counter that. There is something camper than Mamma Mia. It's called Mamma Mia 2. Here we go again.
And people seem to just love it and love it. I just saw my friend Maz do the lead in the West End. It keeps extending month after month. People just want to go back. It's one of those rare things where people seem to love it the more they watch it. It's extraordinary.
Well, I think it's because of the depth of the text, isn't it? You can go back time and time again, and you mine even more subtext from it.
And the songs.
And that's the thing.
But it's that rare thing, as you say, it's what everyone wants. It's the repeated business. It's because people have such a good time. And then it's like, well, your mum's been about
oh God, more 6, 7 times over the years.
And then that kind of hen night thing as well. It's like people just love this. They love them in their bones.
She didn't go on hen nights, though.
She's not been yet.
As a turn, do you wish you were in it, or are you glad to just watch it?
For me, definitely just watch it.
Save all that spandex, huh?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. If there was more of that, I'd definitely do it. I'm hoping for a third film in which I can play Cher's father. I think because the ages are all over the place.
Well, and what with that surgery, she gets younger every time we see her, doesn't she? Last time I saw you was in Annie. I mean, magnificent, and here we are tonight, Mamma Mia, the party. I mean, musicals are your life, really. Everybody knows you for TV, but at heart, you're a theatre guy, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a theatre director, choreographer. I spent all my life dancing in musical theatre. It's my thing, it's my day job. So very much looking forward to this because it's sort of like a cross between cabaret, dinner stuff, and I think that's going to be great. And it's fantastic music. I love it. I grew up with it. I was 12 when ABBA came on radar, and that was in 1977 with the Arrival album in Australia, and that was absolutely huge. So it's really going to be fun and probably take me back to my teens, darling.
All the people so far have said they're not having a drink tonight. They don't seem to be aware it is a party.
Well, I hope there's going to be a drink. It's a party.
I think it's just me and you at 2 o'clock having a dance.
Well, darling, no one's going to want to get up to a 1970s discotheque without at least one glass of wine in them.
I would think so. What's it like for you being in there? Is it a relief that you don't have to judge and say, oh, why is that like that, and you can just enjoy it, or do you wish you were part of it?
No, I'm sort of pleased that I'm not directing tonight, that I can actually come as a punter and just experience it. I think you just have to relax and enjoy it and see what they present. And then hopefully, who knows, it might put a seed of an idea in my head for maybe one of my shows. Sister Act the Party, potentially.
I like the idea of me and Brenda getting drunk during the performance, me in the audience, watching her on stage. This could be 2020 sorted.
I know, it's going to be great. I can't wait. It's going to be
lovely. So glad to be here at Mamma Mia. Nice to see you.
Stephen,
how are you,
nice
Stephen?
yeah.
Lovely to see you. Gloria Hunniford, always a pleasure. And here we are. We're going to have a party tonight.
We're going to have a big party. I take it you're coming in after you do all of this.
I'm going to be on the dance floor with you at 2 a.m. Never mind about
Can you be on my dance card?
I think so. This is what I want to be on your table. Never mind.
Oh, that's even better.
What's better than a good meal, a good drink, and a good bit of ABBA? I mean, this is the perfect recipe for a hit show, isn't it?
Well, what I think is great about Judy Kramer, I mean, I just love the way she has created layer after layer after layer.
And I think we probably went to every stage performance of it, and when it first opened, when it changed theatre, all of that. So we've gone to all of those. You know, every time they change the crew on stage, we go again. And I just love the music of ABBA anyway. And I was lucky enough to interview the boys years ago on Radio 2, and I still love it. You know, it makes me feel good. And Stephen can tell you many a time I slam on that DVD and I'm in a good mood. But I've also of late been listening to the songs, I think, through the film a bit more deeply. And for example, a song like Winner Takes It All, when you really think through those words, you know, it's much deeper than you first of all think.
And even slipping through my fingers, just incredible.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I cried a bit from that because I had a daughter myself, and when I saw that in the film, it was actually quite emotionally portrayed. I really liked it, you know.
You're a legend. We love you so much. We see you now on Loose Women, and it's such a perfect place for you to be because we get to see you not only as the genius you are, because you're one of the greatest interviewers there's ever been with great questions, but also it gets to see that you can reach a new audience. It's wonderful, isn't it?
Well, the thing is about Loose Women, if my mother knew I was talking about sex live on TV, she'd turn over in her grave. It's unusual for me because, say, with Rip Off Britain or consumer programs, it's absolutely to the line. You have to be 1,000,000% correct if you're naming and shaming. Whereas with Loose Women, you tend to forget you're on the telly at all. So you find yourself coming out with things and stories and words. And I go home and I said to Stephen, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to talk about you like that, but poor Stephen gets talked about all the time.
Any apologies, Stephen? Lovely to see you. Good to see you.
I did kind of go in my wardrobe to see how many flares I could find, but nothing went with the crutches, so yeah.
What's the best thing, the tunes of ABBA, being here at the party, or the free alcohol?
Oh, I can't drink because I'm recovering from a broken hip, so alcohol's off tonight, sadly. I think having a fun factor and going home with a full belly is a bonus.
The food is incredible and the atmosphere is even more marvellous, but there's a disco at the end. You won't really be able to boogie, are you?
I won't be able to boogie tonight, but I'll be able to watch some other people having a great fun.
And your favourite ABBA song?
There's so many, and they remind me a lot of an era for me which was really important in the 70s and the 80s, which was the whole my competing sort of era. But I love the scene at the end of the last movie with Fernando, and so yeah.
The musical's magnificent. This has got alcohol with it. It can't be bad, can it?
Oh no, I don't drink, but I'm glad there's lots of alcohol because I'm sure it will get everybody up and jumping and dancing. And I just love that I'm clueless about what I'm about to experience.
What is the recipe for a perfect show? I mean, add in food and drink and then a good light show and dancing and then ABBA music. You've basically got a hit before it even starts, haven't you?
Absolutely. And I think what you have here is not just a show, but a show that the audience can be involved in. And more, I know from the work I've been doing, that's what audiences want.
I just got to see this over in Stockholm a few weeks ago, and it is magnificent because it is a party. It ends with a disco. Will we have you boogieing till 2 a.m?
Well, actually you won't, because I'm doing something for Macmillan very early in the morning. So
that's a shame. I was hoping we could do a tango or something.
Oh well, you just never know. I might squeeze in one.